Guys, the day has finally arrived. It's opening weekend for Halloween Hornets, and check out our swag.
Matching.
We are matching. We're about to head inside the park. We're gonna do Stay and Scream with some friends. Get in there a little bit early. We also have Express, but we're just gonna enjoy the event. As you can see, the arches are behind us. The medallion is back up after they took it down for the hurricane. The event is opening up tonight for its first night. Halloween Hornets 32. Let's get inside the park and have some fun. All right, and we've made it inside. Today the park closes at 5 and Halloween Horror Nights should start at 6 p.m. But if you get yourself into one of the holding areas, we're gonna go to San Fran, the newest area over by Richter's. Check out the arch over here with the Halloween Horror Nights sign. This is the newest positioning for this scare zone here. But yeah, we're gonna go to San Fran for Stay and Scream. And welcome to opening night of Halloween Horror Nights. I swear this rain is tradition now, and it's torrential. We decided to take a quick pit stop to grab some food at Minion Cafe, and luckily enough, that's gonna keep us dry, but I don't know how long this rain is gonna be going for. So we got pushed out under the rain and got stuck because they started closing the holding areas, and now we're in line for Stranger Things. Not what we were expecting, but we're going with the flow. All right, we're in the Vamp Scare Zone, waiting to get to Stranger Things over here, but check it out, the stage is all wet, so I have a feeling the scare zones are gonna be affected at least for a while, and it doesn't look like the rain is gonna be stopping anytime soon. What an opening night. We are ready to try out our first house, and we're almost there. Stranger Things is gonna be where we start. We got a portion of our scare squad, but the rain and these puddles unfortunately have made it so we couldn't get to everybody, but we're gonna have a great time. All right, Stranger Things done. And I gotta say, I'm not disappointed. The bar has been set high, but I expected Stranger Things to be one of the better houses. What do you think, babe?
It was awesome. I think they used the real actors in there.
No.
Yes, they did.
They did a good job with the actors, and I don't want to spoil it too much, but there is certain things, I'm gonna try to be as spoiler-free as possible, but certain things that they definitely did in there that we were expecting, like the Eddie scene, was pretty damn awesome, and a couple other scenes. Make sure you're looking up in certain rooms. But this is a great start to Halloween Horror Nights. The raid continues, but our next house is gonna be Dueling Dragons. And we're making our way. We're trying to save our Express, so stand by it is. This way we'll be able to come back and be able to do some of the houses that we enjoyed in the beginning if we don't burn our Express right away. Check it out, we got a Yeti cast change. All right, so the hair is officially a mess, but I gotta say, it doesn't look too bad. Dueling Dragons, Choose Thy Fate is done, and you do get to choose thy fates at the end, which I thought was a pretty interesting twist. I expected it to be a little bit different. It's just a small portion at the end. Once again, no spoilers on what actually happens in there, but you do get to split up at a certain point. My group and I took different routes. Definitely one that I want to try again so I could see what the opposite end has. I expected a little bit different. You get to see what I wanted to see, but it's not necessarily what I was expecting, going off of what the ride was about. Boom, and it looks like that Stranger Things line has gotten crazy, but Yeti is now opened about like 10 minutes ago, and we got a 25-minute wait. Let's go check it out. We did get to capture a cast change on Yeti, and hopefully they were changing the Yeti out for taller Yeti, because the ones that came out were kind of short. And we're making our way back. The Yeti line is kind of parallel to the Dueling Dragons line, and we've already been able to do, this is going to be our third house in just an hour? Yeah, just an hour. So a little bit less than an hour if we get it done in the next 7 minutes or get inside in the next 7 minutes. So I got to say, Stay and Scream, paying off today. All right, so that's 3 houses done in roughly an hour and 15 minutes. And I got to say, the Yeti house was surprisingly good. I actually like that a lot. It actually had more of the elements that I expected from Dueling Dragons, being a more aesthetically pleasing house. Dueling Dragons had its moments, but it definitely didn't live up to my personal hype. And now we start going through our first scare zone. All right, so I like the aesthetic of the Vamp zone this year. It's kind of like a music festival, or not kind of like a music festival. It's a music festival with like kind of the hippie vans. They have all the different booths, but some vampires have wreaked havoc on this particular music festival, and it didn't turn out too well for the people that were at the event. And here we go, 35 minutes for Chucky. So another house that we're gonna attempt to do as a standby and continue to save our express. And it's in the Fast and the Furious building. You know, from this angle, it's kind of crazy to see how big the Fast and Furious building is. But last year, we had Blumhouse, Freaky, and the Black Phone here. And as you can see, this rain today has done more damage than the hurricane on Wednesday to how we get across in the line. But yeah, Freaky and Black Phone were here last year. Let's see how Chucky compares to Freaky and Black Phone. Wow. Looks like Chucky is wreaking havoc on set. The clips from the show or movie, I'm not sure, I haven't watched the show. This particular house is based off of the show and not the movie. But check out Chucky doing his thing. And just as you exit, they have the next season of Chucky advertised on the exit here. And I gotta say, I kind of like what they did with the Chucky house. I didn't actually watch the show, so I didn't understand all these scenes, or didn't reference all the scenes to memory. But it's Chucky. You know what Chucky does. And I like that they kind of kept the same type of break as they did with the Black Phone and Freaky, where there's like a little gap in between both sides, and it got serious from one to another. It was dope. And now we head into our second scare zone. Shipyard 32. This one looked pretty awesome. I look forward to seeing all the oddities loose. Dr. Oddfellow's oddities taking over the streets. All right, it might be because of the rain that it's unsafe for them to be out, because nobody's out at all. All there is sound effects. Unfortunate, but we'll make our way back around. We won't judge it until we get to experience it. And this year behind Lombard's, they have the Peacock Bar. Last year they had a couple bars back there, and it actually was a really chill spot to just hang out. I'm going to bet that this year, because of the Peacock Bar, it's going to be much busier, but something I would definitely recommend checking out. And a great area to kind of look over the lagoon and just watch the park. And now we come in, and it might be too rainy for the Death Eaters to be out, but there should be a bit of a scare zone here in Diagon Alley. The stages for the Death Eaters are definitely all lit up and nice. The fog is out, but the actual characters are not out and about. This rain is ruining it all. We just went through 2 scare zones that were actorless. Alright, I was really looking forward to Shipyard as well as the Death Eaters, but unfortunately I think the rain has made it unsafe and hazardous for them to be out, so we'll definitely have to circle back around to check out those scare zones. Let's keep on making our way through the event. And check it out, there's another look behind Lombard's, so you can check out the Peacock Bar. I gotta say, without the fountain show this year, it feels like something is missing at the event. We only have one show, and I guess the roaming horde of Megans kind of takes place of the fountain show, but that is not a worthy replacement at all. Check that out. The Oddfellow house looks amazing. I love that like circus tent setup. Can't wait to check that one out next. Alrighty guys, so in addition to coming to the event and preparing, downloading the app is something that I would highly recommend, because not only can you check the wait times and help your route around the park to make sure that you move around quickly and go to the shortest lines if that's what you're trying to do. You could also refresh your memory like I'm doing right now. The Darkest Deal is a house that I forgot what the storyline was about, but a blues musician, Pinstraw Bruce, meets at a crossroads with a diabolic entity known as the Collector to make a deal, his soul for fame. That sounds pretty awesome, and I like the imagery. Let's make our way into the house. This facade for the Darkest Deal looks cool, but for some reason the Sprungton houses this year do look particularly small. Even the facade itself is much tinier than what I've expected from them in the past. All right, so Darkest Deal done. Let's refer to one of my Scare Squad members, Moose. Moose, how'd you like that house?
My expectations were pretty low, but wow, blown away on it. Like top so far.
Yeah, when it comes to like the original property houses, it's always hard to like figure out what's gonna be an amazing idea or what's not gonna be an amazing idea. I like the way that they pulled that off. It was super cool with like the contract and everything. I'm not gonna spoil it all, but the story is really easy to follow and it's scary along the way. And in deja vu all over again, we had just made our way out here on the left-hand side, and now we're on the right, and we're making our way back to The Last of Us. Highly anticipated house this year. This one based on the game, not the show, but still, I hear there's huge similarities. And now for the parade buildings, it looks like they've created this raised walking path, which actually probably makes it a little bit better with our rain today, a little bit safer. And it seems like it should save us a little bit of time as far as the walk back as well. Yeah, when typically you would enter this house from the ET area, now you come back this way. And as you can see, this is like a raised platform that they've created just for a walking path to The Last of Us. And wow, it has a 110-minute wait. So this express is about to come in handy. All right, so we've been in The Last of Us line. We took express. We've been in line now for about like 30 minutes. So I wanted to take a look and see what the wait times are on the app on some of the other houses. So Monsters, 100 minutes. Exorcist, 35 minutes. That's surprising. Stranger Things, 115 minutes. Blood Moon, Dark Offering, 60 minutes. Dueling Dragons, 40. Yeti, 55. Oddfellow, 75. 75, 95, and 85. Well, it says 85 now, but it was 110 when we were in line. Still, some pretty significant waits today. All right, so The Last of Us is done. I do feel like I was missing a little bit of the storyline because I didn't play the game, but I watched a couple of episodes of the actual show. I didn't watch the whole entire season all the way through, but it was super cool to watch the characters interact, as well as they kind of had progression in how the spores took over the people in the beginning of the maze to the end of the maze where they were fully taken over into like whatever those monsters are called, the clickers or whatnot. Like I said, I'm not too knowledgeable on this particular property, but I did enjoy it. So far, this is probably my second best property, and we're on number 6. We still have 4 to go. We got Oddfellow, Exorcist, Monsters, and Blood Moon. So we're almost done, and we're making pretty good time. We still got a lot of time left in the event, so we saved our express. We're definitely going to circle back around a couple of these houses as well as scare zones. This walk back from the parade buildings is always the worst. Literally the worst thing about Halloween Horror Nights. I love this event, but gosh, I wish they could eliminate these walkbacks from the parade buildings. So I'm not looking forward to Monsters. I am looking forward to Monsters, but I'm not looking forward to that walk back. All right, so next we're going to be doing Monsters, which enters through Kid Zone, but it's an 85-minute wait. But the Kid Zone area is so weird right now with all this construction going on. For The Last of Us, we got in by all the way by Men in Black and exited over here actually through ET, and now we're going for one house enters here only, and all this construction just kind of throws off the ambiance in this area. All right, and Universal Monsters Unmasked dumps you right back down the same exit as The Last of Us. I gotta say, the house was really good. It was really dominated by the Phantom of the Opera, but every single one of the monsters had a pretty awesome room. My favorite was actually the Hunchback of Notre Dame. When you enter, there's a bit of like a bungee scare. I thought, I was looking forward to the Invisible Man, I don't know that that was pulled off too well, but it could have just been the effects when I walked through. Didn't go off the way that they should have. But all in all, Universal Monsters Unmasked gets 2 thumbs up. So 1, 2, there you go. All right, and we're making our way through the Simpsons area. We're gonna go check out Dr. Oddfellow. We haven't had the pleasure of seeing the Megan horde just yet. We did see them in the back kind of doing like a cast change, but on the street roaming, not so far. All right, so we're over at Oddfellow now, and I gotta say, this tent does give me like a reminiscence of Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I've heard great things about this house, so I'm looking forward to checking it out, and I love the setup outside. This is the gentleman who all the scare zones are themed after, our icon in Halloween Horror Nights 32. All right, I think thus far, Oddfellows is gonna go down as our favorite original property. It is pretty amazing, and so far the only house that could contend with it is the only house that we haven't gone through, which I believe is Blood Moon. It had some hints of like puppet theater as well as different houses. I believe that lion in there, not to spoil it too much, I've seen in another house, but some legitimate scares, some super cool Easter eggs along the way. And I didn't happen to see Jack in there, but I know that there is an Easter egg of Jack that if you keep your eyes peeled, you'll be able to see. So fingers crossed we get to get another walk through that one, because I really did like it, and we get to see that Jack Easter egg. All right, and we start our way through another scare zone as we make our circle around to finish up our last 2 houses and complete all 10. And from one scare zone to another, now we enter Dark Zodiac. Alright, and my hair's been a mess ever since the rain. Dark Zodiac, not too bad, but I gotta say, the chainsaw guys are fun, obviously, but the characters and the oddities, I don't connect them too well, so I need to do a little bit of story research on this. I gotta admit, I didn't do enough research coming to the event, kind of just winged it, and some of these things are getting right over my head. And just next to Minion Mayhem, we now do Blood Moon Dark Offering. 75-minute wait, but we have Express. All right, and as soon as I say something, I eat my words. Blood Moon Dark Offering, by far, is the best original house that we went through today. And I gotta say, I was kind of fearing that there wasn't gonna be a standout original house like there's been in the past, but whoa. The set design, the characters, this house was amazing. Had that real cool like cult type of like feel to it, and I was impressed. All right, and we're finishing it off with our one last house, Exorcist Believer. All right, those last 2 houses were surprise come from behind type of houses, because I did not expect them to be that good. I think The Exorcist might be my favorite intellectual property house, and Blood Moon might be my favorite original property. Wow, but we got all 10 houses done. You know, I'm looking forward now a lot to watching that Exorcist movie when it does come out, because that house was so spectacular. Stranger Things was also another standout for me this year, and we're looking forward to coming back tomorrow and the day after to check out the houses again and get another spin around. We tried to go back and do the houses a second time, but man, my body can't take it. So we're actually going to be heading back to the hotel. We had a blast on opening night of Halloween Horror Nights 32. I hope you guys are enjoying the event or going to enjoy the event soon. If you enjoyed coming along with me on this little adventure, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. But don't forget to ask yourself, have you been entertained?